Hey folks, I wanted to come through today with an Oracle card deck review. Today we are talking about the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle, Inspirational Cards for Wisdom and Guidance by Jane Struthers. The box is beautiful. It has this little ribbon here that you can open the box with. And then these are some samples of the cards. Reconnect with the natural world and discover your true sense of self. Inspired by the serene and majestic beauty of nature and rich with insights from spiritual traditions from around the globe, this superbly illustrated oracle deck will help you use the ancient wisdom of trees to gain new and profound levels of awareness about yourself, your relationships, and where you are headed. This kit contains 40 beautifully illustrated oracle cards and a practical full-color handbook that explains how to read them, understand their deeper meanings, and integrate their messages into every aspect of your life. Commissioned artwork by Marilia Allwood. I love that her name is Allwood, and and she illustrated a Wisdom of the Trees oracle deck. So if you're any kind of naturalist, this is an awesome, awesome deck for you. I really love my personal collection of cards has kind of slowly been moving. Like I have a collection of cards that are very like galactic starseed energy, and then another collection of cards forming that are a little bit more earthy. So this is what I go to for my more grounded readings. I'm somebody that likes to spend a lot of time in the woods. I spend a lot of time hugging and talking to trees. So I really, really appreciate this deck. Um, I'm just going to mention, so this little cardboard sleeve in here to keep the cards in is great. But what I was finding is that cards get stuck in the bottom of it. And I tried to take the sleeve out and ended up ripping it, which I regret. So I just kind of like keep a little incense stick in it to like pop the rest of the cards out. And there's a little dust, a little residual dust. So, here is the deck, and the different colors around the border signify almost like different suits. So I believe, and we'll look in the book again for that to determine, but I like the size of the deck, and the colors are very reminiscent of fall. Um, you know, they're a nice short cards, so they sit in my hands really nicely. I don't have to like overstretch to really shuffle the deck really well, which is awesome. The illustrations are really, really beautiful and soft. And again, each border talks about the different suits. So there's fruit and flower, there's roots, leaves, and I think trunk, but we'll look into it. So going into the book, there's so much information for each given card. Yeah, so trunk, healing. Okay. So we have roots for being, trunk for healing, leaf for wisdom, flower, fruit, and seed for power. So I really appreciate, first of all, that it has a contents page at all. Do we need to move this up a little? Or we'll just leave it be. Here, we'll scoot this down. Um, and then there's a lot of like educational information as well. So the introduction, and then it gives you information about how to tune into and feel the energy of the trees and communicate with trees. Start to notice trees whenever you pass them during the day. From a distance, observe their overall shape. Notice the difference between the rounded canopy of an oak and the tall, columnar shape of a cypress. Notice how some trees seem to stand alone while others apparently prefer being in a group. So this is kind of teaching you not only to read the trees through the cards, but read the trees through your day-to-day living as you encounter them. Yeah, sensing a tree's energy. Yeah, I love this. So you get a little schooling in kind of uh, arbor energy work. Then it goes into the devas and the nature spirits, which is really appreciated. And then how to use this oracle. I definitely started out as an intuitive reader, um, but I've really enjoyed the different decks and how to use them. They all kind of have a slightly different feel to them. And then we have different spreads and ways to read. Really fun. And then almost they use sample readings too to kind of give an idea about, you know, how to interpret the cards in different positions. And then for each section, so for each card, there is the Deva message, kind of like history of the tree and different information, not only spiritual information, but information about the tree itself and history of the tree itself. So it gives you a lot of information to pull from during readings. And then there's kind of like little pinpoints. So if you want to learn more about trees, I really like, sometimes I'll get a specific deck. Like I just ordered an angel deck today because I want to learn more about the archangels and the different angels, and I could kind of learn almost like using index cards to learn something new, to kind of learn more about each angel and what they represent and what they stand for. And then it gives you the interpretation for the right way up and for upside down. So this is like a great gift for the naturalist or tree lover in your life. Ooh, and then here it has different nature sanctuaries. Some of the world's best and most magical nature sanctuaries. These are places where the natural beauty of the landscape has been preserved for generations to come. So in different countries, the different parks. Awesome. Yeah, different parks you could go visit that I imagine have with a focus on the trees that are there. And then a whole bibliography and further reading, which is fun. Teach yourself mythology. I want that book. Awesome. Nature spirits and elemental beings. So if you have a nature lover in your life who's looking to get into tarot and oracle card reading, this is a great deck. If you are somebody who um, loves nature and loves trees, this is a great deck to have in your collection. Let's read. Jane Struthers is a full-time professional astrologer and writer who has studied tarot, astrology, and palmistry for over 25 years. She teaches astrology at the London School of Astrology and also lectured abroad on astrology and tarot. And then the artwork by Marilla Allwood. I just love that name for the illustrator of this book. And you could see the illustrations are really, really beautiful. And yeah, that's all I have for the review. Awesome, awesome deck. Again, if you're somebody who loves nature, we can, here, let's pull a card out and do a little read. Beautiful, thank you. Ooh, so we have the Indian bean. And so this is a healing card looking at the border. And we have this beautiful, oh, so there's these beans coming down from it, and the little bird perched there, and this beautiful flower. So let's take a look. So we'll go into the healing section, the trunk section. Vitality. My beautiful trumpet shaped flowers greet the sun in the summer, and in the autumn I show off my seed pods. Let me teach you how to make the most of your many talents and attributes so you can regain your vitality. Yes, thank you. So, already, just in that short Deva message, we have different time messages happening. So in the autumn, she shows off her seed pods. So harvest season, the flowers in the summer. Beautiful, right way up. One of the best ways to heal yourself at the moment is to embrace every day with enthusiasm and do everything you can to get the most benefit from it. Treat the people you meet with respect and an open heart. I love that. And then again, there's so much more information you could glean from this. Inverse. Do not overlook the obvious and simple ways of healing yourself. Ensure that you have plenty of rest and sleep, and find the time to prepare and eat wholesome natural foods, regardless of how busy you may be. And then, so native to southeastern United States. So that's like Florida and Georgia. See, now I want to see like a big picture of the tree. What beautiful flowers it has. It lives a long time, grows to about 60 feet tall. It's a big tree. Bears flowers and long bean-like fruits. The catalpa's common name is a misnomer because it does not come from India and it does not bear beans, even though its pendulous seed pods look like them. When European settlers first saw the tree in the southern United States, it was growing in fields owned by Cherokee Native Americans, hence the Indian tag, and its botanical name comes from the Cherokee name for the tree. The Indian bean tree is frequently planted in parks for ornamental interest because it flowers so prolifically each summer. Catalpa wood is sometimes used to make guitars. Beautiful catalpa. I would have loved it if they included the Cherokee name for it. So again, there's so much information that you could glean from it depending on the reading, and who you're reading for and what's all going on. Even in the name that it's called Indian bean, but the name is deceptive, right? Awesome. So lots of possibilities, lots of information for each card. I really like these to determine the kind of hazel. Ooh. So this is leaves. I really like to use this deck to kind of determine what direction the reading is going in. Are we talking about roots? Are we talking about leaves? And are we talking about healing? Are we talking about fruit and flower? Kind of like what stage of a cycle the querent is in. So let's look at this one. Let's look at Hazel. Boundaries. My history of being planted in hedge rows means I am an ancient guardian of boundaries, both physical and spiritual. Let me teach you how to set your own boundaries so you know where to concentrate your power and wisdom. In ancient times, the Celts believed that the hazel was responsible for fostering inspiration and wisdom, so they honored it as one of their trees of knowledge. Since medieval times, forked hazel branches have been widely used as divining rods, particularly to find water. Each May Day, hazel is one of the trees that were brought indoors to guard against evil spirits. Now, the coppiced poles of hazel trees are used to make fences. The hazel is prized for its nutritious nuts, which are also called cob nuts. These can be eaten whole, or pressed to make oil. Right way up. Beware of dissipating your energy by becoming caught up in ideas and situations that are nothing to do with you. Decide where your mental and emotional boundaries lie, particularly when dealing with other people. Thank you, Hazel. I want to like grow a hazel hedge now. Inverse, are you becoming too self contained? Have you built an emotional wall around yourself that keeps other people at bay? And if so, why? Perhaps you need to gradually increase your trust in people and to become less anxious and uncertain. So, again, you could see that there's a lot of information to be gleaned from each and every card. Horse chestnut. Well, let's see. Maybe different folks watching this video, we have different messages for you. Horse chestnut. This is more leaves. Wisdom. So I'm feeling like the leaves, the wisdom, it's not really an action card. It's more of like a maintenance card. My shiny brown fruit has many practical uses, yet children enjoy playing with it too. I could teach you how to consider the advantages and disadvantages of everything you come across to help you gain greater wisdom and understanding. The horse chestnut got its name in 16th century because Turkish soldiers used to feed brown fruits to their horses. A single specimen of the tree was sent to the botanical gardens in Paris, from where its popularity spread. Children like the tree because they play with the fruits, attempting to smash their opponent's chestnut with their own, a game known in Britain as conkers. Scoot this over. And the book is beautiful. Um, the fruits, which are toxic when eaten raw, were used in the past to make soap. Creams made from them are useful in relieving venous congestion. Awesome. Southeast Europe bears candle-like flowers and fruits encased in a spiky shell, grows to 92 feet tall. That's a huge tree. Right way up. Something is puzzling you. Hold it up to the light of careful thought and do not be in too much of a hurry to solve the conundrum. Sometimes the answer is slow to arrive, so do your best to be patient. Inverse. Try to avoid rushing to judgment or arriving at instant conclusions because these may mean that you have ignored important considerations. Be particularly careful not to assess other people's actions at a superficial level. I'm also being asked, I'm being guided to talk about kind of communing with trees. So let's go. I have my kind of way, but let's see what the book says. Um, when you're hugging a tree, you could kind of feel the movement of energy within the tree, and sometimes the tree will have a message for you. You just have to listen. You could put your ear to the bark or just kind of like sit with the tree. I also like to sit nestled up to the trunk of the tree. That's um, I've 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 learned that that's kind of like the heart space of the tree, like where the top of the tree and the roots meet. So let's see what I said here. How to use this oracle. That is a nature spirit. We'll read the whole thing together. Before you begin to work directly with the cards themselves, you may find it helpful to tune into the energies of trees. There is no need to visit a particular forest, arboretum, or botanical garden unless you wish to. Instead, you might simply enjoy taking a long, relaxing walk in some nearby woods or your local park. If there are trees in your garden, you could sit under one of them and absorb its energy. In addition, start to notice trees whenever you pass them during the day. From a distance, observe their overall shape. Notice the difference between the rounded canopy of an oak and the tall columnar shape of a cypress. Notice how some trees seem to stand alone while others apparently prefer being in a group. In the winter and early spring, study the branches of a deciduous tree. Even though the tree appears to be dormant, you will see buds that are waiting to erupt into either leaves or flowers as soon as the days get longer and the weather becomes warmer. In late spring, notice how the flowers blossom and then wither and die, leading to the formation of the fruit that the tree will bear in the summer or autumn. Enjoy the lush, fresh green of the leaves and of deciduous trees and see how they gradually change color as the seasons progress. In the autumn, watch the leaves turn yellow, orange, red, or purple before being blown off by the wind. Observe trees such as the beech and hornbeam that hold on to their desiccated leaves long after other deciduous trees have become bare branched. They will often keep these throughout the winter, only dropping them the following spring when new shoots begin to open. Enjoy the evergreens too. In the dead of winter, look at a yew tree thickly clothed in its green dark needles and crimson berries. If the birds haven't already picked these off, notice the strangely lumpy and broken outline of a Scots pine. Admire the glossy, waxy leaves and vibrant berries of a holly tree in midwinter, bringing life and color to its surroundings. Different characters. You will begin to realize that no two trees are alike, even if they belong to the same species. Once you become sensitive to it, you will see that each tree has its own character and personality. Even in an orchard of apples or pears, some of the trees will feel friendlier and more outgoing than others. Some trees will seem to be welcoming you into their energy field and encouraging you to stay with them for a while. Others might seem more self sufficient. You may even find that you unconsciously move away from them and gravitate towards what feels like a more welcoming tree. Trust your instincts and intuition. When you have found a tree that feels comfortable and friendly, sit quietly beneath its branches and absorb the sights, smells, and sounds around you. Watch the birds darting through the branches and listen to the breeze rustling the leaves. Are insects crawling up the bark? Are wasps or bees visiting the flowers or fruit? The tree may appear to be a static object, but is probably teeming with life. If you have pets, notice whether they always head for particular trees while avoiding others. Does your cat climb every tree in your garden, or only one or two? When you take your dog for a walk, does it rush towards some trees while giving others a wide berth? The animal may be tuning into something. Sensing a tree's energy. You could take this one step further if you wish by tuning directly into the tree's energy. However, first you must ask for the tree's permission. Silently or out loud, simply ask the tree if you can make energetic contact with it. Listen to the answer that comes to you and abide by it. You may sense that the tree does not want to make contact with you, in which case you should leave it alone. On the other hand, you may feel a sense of welcome and understand that you can go ahead. Assuming that the tree is happy to let you tune into its energy field, begin by standing some distance away. The further away, the better. Look at the outline of the tree's leaves, branches, and trunk. Now look slightly to one side of the tree and let your eyes relax. After a short amount of time, you will begin to see a margin of light that surrounds the tree. This is its aura or energy field. The more you practice doing this, the easier it will become, so do not despair if you find it difficult at first. Notice how far the aura extends and whether it's wider on one side of the tree than the other. Now start walking toward the tree. See if you could sense when you enter its energy field, which may extend further than you imagine. Do this slowly and quietly, taking time to focus on your sensations. You may suddenly feel a physical change in your surroundings, for instance. When you are next to the tree, gently place your hands on its trunk. Can you feel the tree's energy or the direction that it's flowing in? That's my intuition. This will vary according to its species. Oak trees, for example, have a lively energy that is surprising for trees of their size, while beech trees feel much calmer and steadier. You may find it easier to hold your palms slightly away from the tree. Even though you are not in physical contact with its bark, you will still sense the tree's aura. Try to tune into the flow of energy that runs from its roots right up to the top of its canopy. When you have finished, thank the tree for its help and slowly walk away. Awesome. Yeah, it's really interesting. So trees will actually communicate to one another um, through the scientifically proven through the mycelial network of roots and fungi in the soil. So if a tree is sick or has a plight, it will actually send signals out, and the trees will send nutrients to the ailing tree through those mycelial roots. But no, it's really interesting. There's a particular tree that I go visit very often, and she had shown me where she had grown over barbed wire and asked me to remove it for her. Not all the trees wanted the barbed wire removed, which was interesting. They actually liked feeling connected by the wire to other trees. Um, she also showed me pests. She showed me her vines. I was going through a really hard time, and she kind of gave me a whole speech and showed me one of her daughter trees, one of her children trees, and the tree had grown and then grown off to the side and then up and then straight up. So this kind of idea of like, oh, you took a hit, but now it's time to just right back on track, grow straight up from that hit point, from that trauma point. Because trees, if you ever notice a tree that has like a really significant bend in the trunk, and it's not like a particularly bendy species of tree, that means the tree experienced some kind of trauma, whether it be like a drought, um, or a plight of some kind, like an insect, and it will actually affect the tree's growth. Awesome, right? Trees are amazing. Go hug a tree. Get yourself the Wisdom Tree Oracle deck if it's your vibe, if you're feeling it, or for a gift for a tree loving friend. I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this deck review. Thank you.